Thank you. Step one, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Amazing, great. Step one done. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm a delivery manager at Made Tech, which is a public services sort of government consultancy. We go into local and central governments and the NHS too, and help build really cool, helpful stuff that helps the citizens of the UK. So that's who I am. I'd like to tell you a little bit about this project called NHS Book a Virtual Visit, how it came about, and also do a live demo, which fingers crossed goes completely fine. And hopefully we have the help of Amy in the background to make some of this happen. So I'm going to share my screen so we can see it. Here we go. You should be able to see my screen. Yeah, cool, great, awesome. So welcome to Test Ward 1. It's some great naming. I know it's my fault. This could be any hospital ward. And imagine I am a NHS staff member. So I'm potentially a nurse on a ward. I'm running around taking blood tests from people, keeping patients alive, whilst also having to keep families informed too. And that's the piece that is taking up a lot of time for these NHS staff members. Due to coronavirus, nobody is currently allowed to visit in hospitals. Or the caveat to that is if you're the partner of someone giving birth, you're allowed to be there for the time that they give birth and then you have to leave. Or if you are in palliative care, then you are also allowed, those are the only sort of two allowances, as it were. Everybody else, so the vast majority, so 99% plus of, don't quote me on that number, but the majority of people stuck inside hospitals at the moment are not allowed to have any visitors. If you're a massive tech nerd like I am, you might go into hospital with a power brick or a charger. But if you're the majority of people who are whizzed into hospital, you don't have any of that. So you're stuck in your hospital bed. You maybe get one phone call every few days, and apart from that, your family don't really know what's going on. This is actually quite a personal story for me. A few weeks ago, I contracted coronavirus. I was reading in my back garden one day, and the next day, within 24 hours, I was in the back of an ambulance going to hospital. It was a horrible experience, but the NHS helped save my life. Whilst I was sat in the hospital bed, I wasn't able to call my family, or my family weren't able to speak with me because I was in an intensive care ward, etc. And the NHS staff members are super focused on keeping people alive, which I think we can all agree is the right thing to do. So once I got better, I came back to work, and we had an opportunity to build a solution called Book a Virtual Visit in an alpha over 2.5 days. So what you see now is a sort of continuation of this. It's been the last few weeks. This is an open source repo. I'll drop a link in the chat afterwards, but it's all here. You can see our nearly 1,000 commits and still going strong. So if you like what you see and want to help out, please feel free. So diving into a demo, and again, fingers crossed this all works properly. What we see here is we have a patient, we have Wonder Woman who hopes to talk with Superman at 3 o'clock today, which might be a really awesome call to happen. And you have Marsha P. Johnson talking with Xavier this morning. So as an NHS staff member, as a nurse on a ward, I'm able to have my iPad, which is already on a ward, and be able to walk around and very quickly book in my patients that are stuck in these hospital beds into the system, so that they're able to see and speak with their family members. So let's do that now. So we're going to say that this is Jessica, and I'm going to call Amy. I'm going to send Amy a text to the ODI number, and we're going to do it at 11:30. So again, I'm the NHS staff member in this scenario. I just plugged in all the details that I've gotten either from the patient information sheets at the end of the bed or the patient themselves, so I can check everything is correct. I can then book a virtual visit. What that will have done is that would have sent a text message via GovNotify, which is the government's standard notification system that sends or should send all text messages, emails, and letters on behalf of the government in the UK. So that will have arrived. That will say something to the effect of, you have received a you've been booked in for this call that will happen on this date at around this time. Let's say in this example, I'm the NHS staff member. I'm stood over the bed of Jessica, and it's ready. I'm ready to start this call. So we go start call. There's a piece of around data management here. We didn't want this tooling or this service to kind of be bogged down by having to hold too much patient PII. So there's just a visual prompt for the NHS staff members before they hand the iPad over to check that these details are correct, that the person is the correct person to be joining the call. And we'll click attend visit. What this does is it loads up our video bridge provider. You'll see myself in a second. I think my camera's frozen because it's using it on Zoom, but you would have seen me. I maybe switch input, I'm not sure. What this has done is it sent a second text message to the key contact with a unique URL to join. They click that link. There we go. And we see Amy. Hey, Amy. Amazing. So I'm currently stuck in my patient bed. Again, it's annoying that it's using the feed twice for Zoom, but you'll see my beautiful face here, and we're having a chat away. Once the call is finished, we go end call at the bottom, and then we hand it over to the NHS staff member. We've been user testing from day one on this, so we've not been able to get on site due to coronavirus restrictions, but we've had daily calls and hangout sessions with sort of boots on the ground nurses and doctors. And one thing we found is that when you finish this call, so you're a patient stuck in a hospital bed, you perhaps haven't seen or talked with your family in at least a few days, maybe even a few weeks. And at this point, the first thing you say when you hand the iPad back over is, "This is amazing. Can I have it again?" And so we've added functionality based on that user feedback, so that the NHS staff member is very easily able to rebook it. It defaults to the next day at the same time. They click continue, they click book visit, and then it's booked in for the next day. So if we go to here, we can see upcoming. We can see this call is booked in for that, which is pretty cool, I think. That's sort of 3/4 of the experience. There's a little piece around the admin side of it too. So if you're, this is where like the juicy data starts coming out. If you're an NHS staff member who's sort of in charge of a hospital or in charge of a trust, you might be really interested in what's actually going on inside of your hospitals. This is live data from our trust in London Northwest. So these are 5 hospitals and 1 test hospital for live, doing in the last few days over 3,000 calls. We can see the most and least here. Within the hospitals themselves, you can see the number of wards that they have. So we can see here Northwick Clark Hospital, which is actually my local hospital in Northwest London, is doing 2,500 booked visits. We can view these here and see everything about them. So we can see all the list of the wards and how well they're doing. We're also working to surface other data too, such as like the average time of calls, so tracking how long these calls actually happen for. Anecdotally, we've heard from our user testing sessions that these calls typically go on for about 4 hours, which seems like a really long time, but if you put yourself in the shoes of someone who loves their family and is stuck in a hospital bed and hasn't seen anyone, actually 3 or 4 hours seems like an appropriate amount of conversation time. Yeah, so that's the NHS Book a Virtual Visit tooling that we've built. Quick plug for our open source repository. It's MIT licensed. The README is completely up to date, so you should be able to get set up quickly. The only paid solution we have here currently is Whereby, which we're using as a video bridge, but we've also got it working with Jitsi, which is another free open source project as a video bridge, or could work with something like Zoom or Hangouts or Microsoft Teams. We see this as a use case that could be very helpful for a bunch of different government departments for things outside of the NHS, for example, within care homes, so people not wanting to visit there. But yeah, I'm going to pause there for any questions.